guys, let's get your reading for July 26th through the 31st going, okay? So, how was your week last week? Tell me, how was your reading? Did it help you with what was going on last week? Did it prevent anything from happening for you? Were you more prepared? Talk to me, guys. Talk to me. I see you there lurking. Okay, so again, July 26th through the 31st, and we are going to do a, we'll probably do a pick three, but let's just see what the spirits have in store for us. It's a general reading. It's for everybody who's watching for July 26th, 6th through the 31st. We're gonna do a shadow, okay? All right, so pick a card, any card. If you don't know what card to pick, you want all three of them, good, go for it. If you want this one and this one, go for it. If you want this one and this one, or this one or this one, everybody's gonna get this one, so that don't matter. But, okay, ready? Okay, let's go. Justice. Okay, we see here that she's got her scales and she's got a sword. So, what is justice? Who decides what is justice? I mean, we can say, well, the courts and the jury decide, but can you decide what is justice? Do you get to decide what is justice? Can you be blind in deciding what is justice? Because remember, we've got that saying that justice is blind, right? So things are going on and you're kind of like, I'm really icky about this. I'm really feeling some sort of way about this. If you're feeling some sort of way, and I'm gonna step out of my normal thing completely, you're not supposed to do anything, okay? Because your emotions are controlling that, and your emotions, your emotions aren't normally you. They're not what you're logically doing, right? So we need to be careful when we decide that I or you or everybody is justice, and you can take justice into your own hands, because your emotions are controlling that, not your logical thinking, okay? So if you can step aside and you can look at things without being emotional about it, then you can go ahead and be justice. If not, then you need to let somebody else do it. Talk to somebody about it. Next card. The Nine of Cups. Okay, so look at this guy. He's got 9 cups here behind him. He's got all of these emotions, because cups represent emotions. And I'm really liking how his banquet table's tablecloth is looking like water. It's looking like water is flowing from these cups, kind of, right? It's kind of spilling. Not from the top. It's not overflowing. It's coming from the bottom. Okay? So water represents emotions, and cups represent water, which represents emotions, and the water is coming out from the bottom. So he's not showing us what he really thinks. He's not showing us what he really feels. So let's take a look at the dude here. He's got his arms crossed in front of him, and he's sitting in a, it looks to me like a squat. I know he's got that bench there, but he looks like he's squatting. And what I'm seeing on this is, you know those like sumo wrestlers where they kind of like boom, boom, and they go into a squat position before they start fighting? That's what I'm seeing with this dude. So he does not want anyone to know what he's feeling. He's in a very protective, I'm ready to fight, I'm in defense mode, right? He really doesn't want anyone to know that, and he's ready to fight to keep it away from you. I usually read this card as he's trying to fight his stuff, his emotions, but no, he's fighting his you for his emotions, okay? So putting that with that Justice card, it's just tying it in a little bit more. You need to be really careful with your emotions this week. You don't have the right to seek out justice, especially in a defensive way, because you're not really feeling your emotions. You're just kind of like, here it is, and this is what I think. But no, right? No. Okay, our next card. The Knight of Wands. Wands represent fire. Fire is like destruction sometimes. Sometimes it's good, but usually it's destruction. We see all around him, there's just barren land. Maybe somebody set a fire and all of the trees burned down. We can see the pyramids of Giza back here, but I'm not going to worry about those. I'm going to say they're mountains, right? There's nothing growing here from what's visible to our eye. Now, there's probably stuff growing, but we're just going to go with what we can see, right? And this dude, this knight, has got fire coming out of the back of his head. He's got fire on all of his protective gear on his arms. He's got the one that represents fire. His horse head looks like fire. He is just burning with fire, right? Now, we can say that maybe he's burning with passion. Maybe he's burning with excitement. Maybe he's burning with happiness. Or maybe he's burning with anger. Maybe he's ready to seek out his justice. Maybe somebody offended him and he's in defense mode. Just like this guy was in defense mode in that sumo squat, he's in defense mode too. Okay, so this week I'm seeing a lot of, I am justified in my emotions. I'm ready to fight you because of my emotions. You've hurt my emotions. I'm going to make you pay for my emotions, okay? Now, we're going to go shadow worker for a minute, okay? And you guys are probably going to tune me out because nobody really likes this shit, but we're going to go shadow worker for just a moment before we read the shadow card. Your emotions are just that. It's emotions. You choose how you're going to react to those emotions. Yes, you choose. You choose, I'm going to be angry. You choose, I'm going to be offended. You choose, I'm going to be hurt. You choose, I'm going to feel bad. Nobody can make you feel bad. You choose that. Nobody can make you feel happy. You choose that. There are people and situations that can make that situation, but you choose to express the emotion, okay? All of this shit that's happening this week, you're choosing to take offense to it. You are choosing to want to fight about it. You're choosing to want to be defensive about it. You're choosing to seek justice for it. Whatever's happening, you are choosing the reaction. All right? You can just as easily choose to ignore it. You can just as easily choose to use it as a lesson. You can just as easily choose to say, okay, well, I'm defensive about this. This is the situation. This is why I'm defensive about it. How can I use it to be productive to me instead of causing a fight? Okay? Now, to totally contradict myself, I totally believe that we get angry. That's the emotion we choose to react to because it's the only way that energy, that aspect can burn our ass enough to make a change. If we're not angry, we're not changing, right? So if you're feeling angry, if you're feeling defensive, if you're feeling like you need to seek justice, you need to look at that situation and see what needs to change. Don't just cause a fight and continue on. Cause a fight and then make the change. All right? Okay, so now our shadow. The Queen of Cups. The Queen of the Cups is the biggest, baddest bitch of emotions ever, okay? She knows where her emotions come from. So let's say this guy offended this guy and now he's all upset because this one called him a fat ass sumo squatter or some shit, right? The Queen of Cups says, well, if I'm offended because you call me a fat ass sumo squatter, why am I offended? Am I offended because you're being racist? And now I have a friend who's racist and I have to deal with that? Am I offended because I'm overweight and now you called me fat and I have to deal with that? Am I offended because that was just really rude to call me? I wasn't trying to be mean to you. I was trying to be your best friend and you turned around and called me some fat dude and now I have to deal with looking like a fat dude, in your opinion? What is it that's making me want to fight you, right? This is what she does. This is shadow work. And then she goes, well, I'm not responsible for your opinion. I'm not responsible for your interactions, and I'm not responsible for what you choose to express. I'm only responsible for mine. So if this is what you're thinking of me, we're not that great of friends. I'm totally wrong in thinking we're BFFs, and it's time to change. Remember how I said our anger causes a fire under our ass to make a change? She sees that and she knows what it is, and she starts making the change. Okay? The justice aspect. You're upset, you want justice. She understands why you want justice, and she knows how to control that emotion to be able to seek justice. Not necessarily because she goes out and does it, but because she finds somebody else who can. All right? So, for this week of July 26th to the 31st, through the 31st, we've got a lot of shit to take care of and look at, right? We've got a lot of understanding ourselves and why we react the way we react to the bullshit other people put out for us. Somebody puts out a buffet, you don't gotta eat, okay? And if you do eat, you can choose what you're eating. Remember that. You choose your emotions. So even though it's saying that you've got these emotions coming this week, you can choose how to use them. Can you use them for something good, or are you going to use them to just create more emotions, to just make more stress? I hope you do the shadow work and you choose to use them for good. Okay? So back to the closing. If you liked the video and you're like, oh, Maria, that was fucking amazing, or whatever you're saying, right? Go ahead and like it, share it, comment. Again, tell me how last week's reading was. Tell me what you're preparing to do this week because of this reading. Subscribe if you want to know when I'm putting out new videos, because if it's helping you, you want to know what's coming up for the next week, right? Okay, so I will see you again next week. Bye.